Sorry, everyone. All right, hello. My name is Ruffin, and this is my good colleague, Gianluca. And today we're going to give you a quick overview of the current developments in SROS. All right. But given last year's talk focused mainly on SROS 1, we're going to leave some sections of those related details for viewers to peruse through the public slides a little later. So skip. All right. So with specific regards to the hardening of the API, which most of those slides covered, we mainly cover what we scoped out the appropriate mapping of roles and permissions necessary for each request, as well as anticipated standardization of any responses. This ensures that the access control is not subverted and subsequent information or subquested information is not revealed. So that's mainly for the ROS1 API. Going forward, for our next generation profiles, we plan on adopting a similar mandatory access control language as defined in AppArmor. This provides us a more expressive and succinct syntax suitable for both flexible programmatic definitions while retaining a human-readable structure for auditing. As such, scopes of resources and permissions can be precisely provisioned to nodes via subject namespace with include statements that can be used to reuse common hierarchical declarations. So if you have a common thing that this is a camera node, this needs this kind of services, this types of topics, you can easily express that. Additionally, in order to overcome the lack of security introspection, debugging, and profiling, we propose some adopted key features of AppArmor's logging system into SROS to provide a context and information for later tooling. For security logging framework, we intend to maintain backward support for ROS's legacy logging mechanisms and tools, so this integrates with the user's existing workflow and is compliant and doesn't necessarily distribute or disturb your existing logging frameworks. As you can see with the new entries, we imply additional purposes by exploiting the existing verbosity levels with coexisting logging systems. So if you set your system in complain or audit or enforce mode, you can view the violations accordingly. Finally, by leveraging the defined access control language and enhancing the logging framework, we have all the necessary components to enable auto generation among and amending security profiles programmatically. Again, inspired by similar Mac software tools, the roadmap includes creating a log profile generator to interface to assist users in auditing the process. In detail, the pivotal component is to test an existing profile with a preserved testbed and logging all the violations that arise during the exercise phase. Then users can carefully modify and integrate the appropriate rules until all the unwanted violations are resolved. So that's the basic kind of workflow you might iterate with amending your policy and checking the logprof tool. Again, on the same line, here we depict how an affirmation techniques can be used to apply to ROS2 as well. In this way, users can rely on simplistic command line interfaces to systematically bootstrap an entire key store, generating all the required public key infrastructure and signed SME files that secure DDS requires to function. And so in conclusion, our goals are kind of make a lot of these SROS prof tools agnostic of what kind of middleware or release, that way that both ROS2 and ROS1 ecosystems kind of share a common code base. Finally, I would like to acknowledge and thank those supporting our efforts and to leave you with additional project references and resources.
Great. Thank you very much.